So you told me about these authors who are exceptions, right? So we have a very famous Indian personality. He's an entrepreneur, Dr. Vum Mani. He's the founder of a laboratory in India, Thyrocare. I love his line. He says, "Ideas are like sperms. Only one in a million works."
Yes, that is gold.
One idea is working, that does not mean yours will work.
Exactly.
You're working in an exceptional space.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true, man. Like you have to. It's you said it right. It's an unlearning. It really is an unlearning. You know, and as the faster you can understand the realities of that, the better off you're going to be. Or, like I said, just write for yourself. Then there is a lot of that you can gain from just writing for yourself and writing for, you know, maybe you're putting something out on Substack or something, you know, and you have a few people that are following you, a few hundred people that are following you, 1,000 people that are, if that's something that entices you, that excites you, then do that. But if you want to get into this world of selling books, unfortunately or unfortunately, there's a path, there are rules, and there's a way to do it to give yourself the best chance. Again, we're not talking about exceptions. We're talking about the rules, and the rules dictate, you know, how things go. So, and again, we could get into a deeper conversation about the actual publishing industry maybe next time, because a lot of times the publishing industry predetermines which books are going to do well. You know, and that could be seen as unfair, and that gets into equity, and that gets into, you know, a whole bunch of other deeper conversations. So I'm definitely acknowledging nepotism for sure. I'm not and cultural nepotism at that, you know. So I'm not dispelling.
I can relate to it completely.
Yeah,
I can relate to it.
There you go. So I'm not denying that those factors exist for sure. Like there are other factors involved in selling a book as well. But for a general conversation, I think that you do need to understand that there is a difference between commercial writing and any other type of writing.
There's one of our authors, Prashant Devar. I love his line. He's so told in one of his like online interviews that you basically need to understand this one thing, that rules are always there. If you want to make something work, like he told it in different language, it's different, you know, difficult to translate. But it's like, for everything there are rules. You cannot be a good driver if you don't follow all the rules on road. Yes. And you cannot say that my driving style is different.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good. He's a smart man. It's true.
So if you sit with some lauded personalities, sit with some people who have already achieved something, you'll understand that in one punchline they can sum it up everything for you. Like this guy, Dr. Vum Mani.
Yeah, exactly.
In one line.
Yeah.
You can keep thinking about this thing, and you will realize in every aspect of life it works.
Yeah. True.
You can have 300 ideas, and one of it is working, and all 299 are behind that one.
Behind it, yeah. But only that one's going to work.
Yeah.
That's reality, you know, and it's an unfortunate reality, but it's reality.
But I would say one thing for authors, that if you are consistent, if you are growth centric, if you are consistent, you are eventually gonna land somewhere.
Agreed.
For sure.
Agreed. I agree. Just stay with it. It's
because not everyone can stay with it.
No. You know how many authors I've seen come and go since my time? Friends, not friends, people I saw on the internet, through networking, and I've met them and they're excited and they love writing, and then years goes by and 2 years go by and I don't see them writing anymore. They're not posting anymore. And then
if you want to make a meal, you have to lit the stove for 15 minutes, constant. You should not do it high, low, high, low.
Exactly. You gotta stay. You gotta stay with it.
You gotta stay. Even if it's low flame, it's gonna stay.
It's gonna stay, and eventually it'll get hot. That's the thing. Eventually, it will get hot.
Persistence,
man. It sounds so basic, but it's it's a necessity. And I'll also say this because I heard this the other day, and I think authors could benefit from this. There are levels to it as well, to your persistence, and there are levels to your consistency. So I heard Will Smith say the other day that he was talking about, he was at a movie, the first Bad Boys one, and he was sitting with the producer of the movie, and it's not done yet, so they're looking at the edits, and Will's like, yeah, this is about 90% done, you know? And the producer said, you know what's good about something being 90% done? It means it means that you're halfway there. You know? So, because what his point is that the distance between 90% and 100% is so great. Mm-hmm. It's the actual thing that separates good from great.
Great, yep.
You know? Because that last 10%, the effort you need to give is unlike any effort that you're going to give in the entire 90%. You know? So, I think a lot of people get close to 90%. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good on this, I'm doing pretty good on that, I'm posting almost every day.
People don't realize that it's simple,
yes,
but it's not easy.
But it's not easy. Exactly. So this 10% is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy. That's why there are only some people who do great things.
You know the founder of Alibaba?
No.
Jack Ma. Jack Ma told in his one interviews, today is hard. Tomorrow is going to be harder. But day after tomorrow is beautiful. What people do, they give up tomorrow evening.
Yeah. And they miss out on the beauty.
Yeah.
On the next day. Yeah. That you're speaking my language. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. They do hard work.
Yeah.
But at the end, they'll just leave it.
Because that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And they felt like they already did work.
They don't even know that they have reached already 90%.
Yeah.
I think by publishing your first 2 self-publishing books, you have already cracked the code. You have cracked the 90% of the code.
Yeah.
Now what you need to do is leave that 10% more, come to 80% back, and then learn 20% more. That's it.